So we've got some progress here. Foliage is in. Put a little more light up top here, not much. I wanted it mostly to be dark, and I wanted it to maintain this kind of feel. I think it worked. Trunks are in, got a bit of ground cover, catching some light. You know, there's a bit of depth there because we have a few trunks in the shade and then one that really stands out. I've intensified this bush here. I've just put a little bit of straight yellow ochre, well, a hint of white to pop it out. I really threw some light on this one. And before I did anything else around it, this was far too intense because, of course, you see the shadow in the background. So, number one, I went back into the water here. And you can see that as I moved into the water, it pushed that, the high value in the water that I've laid on just a couple of strokes, has dumbed down the strength of this so it becomes less important. So I'm just kind of playing in the water now. We're getting so close to the end of the painting in general, I think, that we're just kind of doing bits and pieces. I'm putting a few strokes on, then I'm going to sit down, do something else, and then I'm coming back with fresh eyes. For me, it's very important to keep revisiting the thing with fresh eyes, especially at this stage of the game. Or I will tend to fixate too much on small details. Fresh eyes means leaving it for a minute, looking away for a minute, and then revisiting it. But looking at it from a few feet away, you know? Get some distance between you and the painting. A little bit high value there. So I'll put some sort of mid values on, breaking this water up further. Grooming it, you know, tidying it up a little bit. And then as I get towards the end of it, I lay on higher values and higher values and higher values. I still have not finished putting a couple of lines in this rock behind there. I need to make, you know, I need to, let's say, make a few lines thinner. It's all minor stuff. It's such tedious minor stuff. It's not something that makes for a good video because I'm kind of all over the map. And I'm spending so much time not painting and more time thinking about the strokes that I'm going to lay on that things get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter, and it makes for a lousy video. It also makes for a lousy painting. It's good to just take those breaks and go, okay, I'll move this, I'll change that, I'll fix this, I'll break that. The painting keeps its looseness a little bit. I haven't touched this one yet either, except for reintroducing some of these lines here. I need to go over it pretty much with the same values that I have down here. Raising the value a little bit here. As I mentioned, I'd like to warm up the light a little bit. Probably here I'll use similar colors to what I have on these just lighter spots. That'll be yellow ochre, a bit of ultramarine blue, and I mean a bit. I mean, one of the hairs on your brush may have a little bit of ultramarine blue on it, and the rest have white and a little bit of yellow ochre. And laying some light on these with that. And then the finale for me is always titanium white with a speck of yellow ochre. That is the whitest white I go. I never go straight white. I should say almost never. And if I do straight white, it's never in a large area. It's always just one or two spots, very light. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of cad yellow pale to titanium white and end up with something quite intense or quite high value, but still just a hint of color. I just don't like titanium white. Too cold. Pure white is too cold for me. I like a little bit of warmth to it. In a way, you know, you can't use the word chroma when you're describing white because white is white. But if you want the perception of pure white, but you give the impression of high chroma slightly if you add just a touch of yellow ochre or just a touch of cad yellow pale. You could also add Naples yellow. When it comes to Naples yellow, if I need something that approximates Naples yellow, or basically is Naples yellow, I'll mix yellow ochre and cad yellow pale together, and you pretty much end up with Naples yellow right there, very close. And yeah, you can always add white to that too. Anyway, I'm blithering again. I'm coming very close. I really don't know if I want to do anything to this guy. I'm pretty happy with it. It's in the distance, but it still has some presence. It's important. I've got some feedback from you guys, and it seems as though you're all pretty happy with it. My skies are often quite gray. This one, as has been mentioned, has got a lot of blue in it, both ultramarine and a little bit of cobalt blue. And cobalt blue mixed with a hint of yellow ochre, which makes it a little bit greener. That's another thing about cobalt blue. I'm not a fan of straight cobalt blue and white. I do use it in a few strokes here and there, but cobalt blue and titanium white together make for a very cold blue. If you want to warm it up, add just a hint of yellow ochre. If you add too much, it becomes sort of a dirtyish looking green when it's applied to the sky. In my case, for my types of paintings, but a hint of yellow ochre with my cobalt blue. That's what I've done here. There are a couple of strokes of almost just cobalt blue and white. Everything else has got mixes of a little, of pretty much ultramarine blue, bits of alizarin crimson, bits of burnt sienna. I'll just square the camera off to the canvas for a second, and then I guess the next time you see the painting, it'll be finished, and we'll move on to the next one, which will be another 16 by 20 inch. I won't do the zoom in yet. I'll do that on the last video of this painting. Also on the last video of this painting, I will try to remember, I will give you a close-up of the last one I did, which had fairly intense fall colors in it. Quite liked it, and my camera started to disagree with me, or my computer started to disagree with me before I got to the point of finishing the painting. So next time round, that's what we'll do. Yeah, you know, looking at it from back here, that's still a very funny looking blob. I might have to put some more direct strokes on there. Maybe not, we might be okay. That line on the top is very dark. Anyway, see, fixate, fixate, fixate. You back it up, and it's not too bad. And once that water has a little more light, in a little more organized fashion, and you know, it's important to back up because you so easily end up with 1, 2, 3 sort of equal blobs, not well put together in the water. That's why I really take a lot of time in the water. I'm still putting this rock off, not because it bothers me. I know what to do with it. But the next biggest challenge on the painting, as far as I'm concerned, is getting this water just right. Everything else is either finished or, I know what to do with it, so I won't worry about it. Okay, that's it for the moment. We will talk to you soon.